Alright, welcome back to HAZCAR. Cup, Ricky Raceway today. We're here in Quebec, all the way up in Canada. Chase Elliott lines up on pole with Model Cap on the outside. William Byron and Kyle Larson line up side by side on row 2. In row 3, it's Bubba Wallace and Martin Truex Jr., driver and owner. There's Ryan Blaney and Ty Gibbs in row 4. And to round out the top 10 is Joey Logano and Tyler Reddick. Now, yesterday, the number 80 was the slowest car in the field by a large margin. He was several miles off the pace every restart, and throughout the runs, he was always the first car to get lapped. Today, I mean, you look, normally some of the good super speedway guys like Austin Cindric or even Chris Buescher, they're kind of far back. They didn't have the greatest time in their qualifying. Hopefully they can make that up. Look at Corey LaJoie. He's starting higher up than normal. So a bit of a mixed field today. The front of the field looks routine, however. Yeah, let's just get this show on the road. Once again, heading off our banked pit exit. This pit exit is more banked than a majority of the tracks on the real-life NASCAR schedule, so it's kind of funny. But yeah, this is more banked than some of the tracks on our schedule, which is just ridiculous. I mean, look at that, Bubba Wallace staying down on the bottom. Seems to have some kind of trouble. He's going to be headed down pit road upon the start of the race. David Reagan had a bit of trouble getting started. He's also going to stay on the bottom of the racetrack, stay on the apron. Chase Elliott also headed down. Lots of mechanical problems, as it seems. No one's vehicle is satisfied. A bit of a wild kickoff to this race, but as William Byron and Model Cap line up side by side now. Elliott, Wallace, and Reagan all down pit road. They get called down for one reason or another. The pace car makes its hard left onto pit road. The number 24 for Hendrick Motorsports and the single car number 80 for Gulf Coast Racing are going to bring us to the green flag in the Canada 500. We're underway. William Byron with a decent start. Model Cap maybe slightly better, but with Blaney getting a faster jump off the line in comparison to Kyle Larson, he's going to push Byron out way in front. So Byron already lining up out front in the field. Ryan Blaney's got his teammate Joey Logano. They're 1-2. Right behind each other. They're bumper to bumper. As Byron is now in control of the draft on both lanes. And Blaney now also out in front. He's going to stay on the bottom with his teammate. He's going to try to overtake the 24 for the lead. And he makes his way past. There's Chase Elliott coming off of pit road. They're 3 wide. William Byron on the top lane. Alex Bowman out of nowhere has entered the top 5 now, or at least the top 10. As they run 3 wide, running quite dangerously. Realistically, Mike McDowell now on the bottom looks to get on the inside of Joey Logano. 3 wide for first, just for a moment. I think as things continue to pick up, Chase Elliott already going to be the first lapped car on the track if they can get by him. But I have a feeling he'll actually be right there in the mix. He's got lead car speed. He just didn't quite have the start to the race that he would have wanted. Tyler Reddick and Alex Bowman, all these cars in the bottom row with Chase Elliott in the middle. They're going to get out in front. And there's a wreck on the back straightaway. Big crash. Already, the number 80 involved. Suarez on his roof. Caution comes out. Reddick and Bowman gonna race it to the line. Bowman on the out. Who's gonna get it? It's gonna be close. And I think it's Reddick to the line. There we go. Big crash on the back stretch. What happened? Let's take a look. Let's look at Josh Berry. He was one of the prime cars involved in this wreck. It went 4 wide here just for a split second, but that split second was all they needed. Ryan Priest came up into Corey LaJoy, brought everyone else into it. The number 80 with some mild damage, he should be able to recover that A-okay. But if you're a guy like Josh Berry, I mean, you don't have much damage. There was really no big hitters in this wreck, thankfully, except for Daniel Suarez, who flipped over off the bumper of his teammate, Ross Chastain. So everyone else stays in it. Gives us a chance to reset things for the rest of the stage, which said stage will end on lap 27. Then stage 2 ends lap 56, and the race ends lap 89, obviously. Two Joe Gibbs Racing teammates caught up in that, both with very equal looking damage. It's Bell and Heim. Oh, there's contact entering pit road. It's Justin Haley and Model Cap. Look, what just happened? Model Cap fails to, just couldn't slow down in time. Kind of ran to the back of the 15. What was repairable damage now is pretty bent up front end. As Truex gets off of pit road, as Chase Briscoe is first off of pit road. So he will take the lead off the restart. Good stop by Chase Briscoe. Truex ahead of Reddick. Then Alex Bowman and Brad Keselowski up in 5th. Lost 2 spots on pit road. As they line up double file in turn 3. Got short pace laps here. Very little time under caution is spent. It's an interesting rule set for this racetrack. As so many cars come off of pit road, missing bumpers, and just one hell of a sight to see. But as they come off of pit road, Chase Briscoe and Martin Truex gonna lead this slightly smaller field back to the green flag for the rest of stage 1. Oh, the caution comes right back out. More trouble on the front stretch. Let's see what happened there. Right as the green flag comes out, Josh Berry comes up into the 47. They make contact and the caution comes right back out. So that's more trouble on the front stretch. That gives the cars that were on pit road a chance to recover. Jimmy Johnson stuck on the apron, now on pit road. As we are once again just 1 to green. Hopefully we see less contact. Here is Anthony Alfredo and Jimmy Johnson sit on pit road. Not sure what that move was by Josh Berry, but he kind of came up into Ricky Stenhouse And that brought out the second caution. Look at Corey Heim. He has no front body parts. Neither does Riley Herbst or Todd Gilliland. Lots of damaged cars and lots of retirements. The 47, the 4, the 7, the 20, 80 has already retired. 43 and the 99 are all out of the race. Sure, none of them are going to be happy about that. Get knocked out early in stage 1. Never what you want to happen, but Chase Briscoe and Alex Bowman, once again, will lead the field back to the green flag, hopefully for more than just a couple seconds this time. Green flag back out in stage 1. For real this time. And as drivers make their way around Corey Heim, we can see he is very slow there. Not where you want to be. Briscoe and Bowman fighting it hard at the front of the field. Jimmy Johnson just makes his way off of pit road. So does Anthony Alfredo. It's all as Chris Buescher makes his way around the number 11. So does Ryan Blaney. As they run a clash-sized field for the lead. AJ Allmendinger up in the mix. There goes John Hunter Nemechek and Austin Dillon down pit road along with Chris Buescher. And others. Joey Logano passes for the lead. Nearly bagged himself a win in Charlotte. Couldn't quite get it done. Can he get it done here in the north? He's got Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski behind him. Kyle Larson moves down to the bottom. We've got Ty Gibbs and AJ Allmendinger looking to mix up with this front field. As we see a decent fight for the lead. Usually these mid-sized packs that end up fighting the hardest for the lead and end up having the closest battles, with neither of them really having a huge leverage on the other. You can see Briscoe still holding his quarter panel to the 22, and at the line they're going to be very close, pretty much bumper to bumper, equally lined up. Less than half a car length between the two, so it's still a preferred inside as of right now. Ross Chastain comes off of pit road. So does Chris Buescher and Austin Cindric in front of them. Austin Dillon slow in turn 3. Going to be interesting to see how this very small field of cars gets around this lapped traffic. Anthony Alfredo situates behind the lead field. Ross Chastain is going to be the first to be passed, as he is only going 150 miles per hour. So he is slow up in turn 4, and now on the front straightaway. Logano and Briscoe still fighting hard for the lead, but I think Logano is going to end up passing the 14 fully, and then he's going to go to the top lane to try to defend, control the draft, and Busch is going to get him on the bottom. That is if that happens before they catch the one car here. Now Logano clear of Chase Briscoe. He's going to be heading to the top lane exactly as predicted. Kyle Busch won't get to the bumper, the 22. And Chastain going to block the bottom lane for some reason. Going to send Briscoe, Bowman, and Reddick around, or just Briscoe. Bowman and Reddick try to take it slow. Don't want to be risky around the one. Larson shoots up top. What the heck is Chastain doing? Yeah, he's not. Yeah, Chastain's got to tighten up. Not. He is fighting for a position that isn't real. Now just 3 cars in the lead. Tyler Reddick and Alex Bowman make a joint move down to the bottom. Reddick may go for the middle here. He stays behind the 48. Bowman down to the bottom, searching for his 3rd win of the season. Hard into the wall. Alex Bowman makes contact, trying to pass Chris Buescher. Briscoe ends up out in front. Reddick is slow. He's involved. Larson attempting to catch the 14. They're going to bring it back around. It's the third caution of the day. I think Briscoe's got it. What happened there, though? Oh, Briscoe's slow. Briscoe's slow. Larson tries to get by. Briscoe blocks. They've got Kyle Busch behind. And on the front stretch. Back to the line for the control. I think Larson's going to get by the 14 just barely. No, the 14 takes it. Let's see what happened. 48 tried to go around the top of the 17, made contact. Wasn't quite clear, didn't have the room. And that'll bring out the third caution of the day. We sit under caution, lap 15. Only 3 cars stay off of pit road. Everyone heads back down. As Austin Cindric is the first off of pit road. Then we've got Zane Smith, Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, or Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Larson, AJ Allmendinger, Ty Gibbs, and everyone else behind. Coming off of pit road still. 24 in the 48, yeah. Kyle Busch, I think he's the only fast car really up actually in front of all the lapped cars, because now Chase Briscoe is damaged. He's slow. We saw him at the end of that restart, at the end of that green stint. He was slow. So we'll see, but Chase Briscoe and Kyle Busch, the pace car, hard left on the pit road. These cars continue to make their way up. They're going to bring us back to the green flag, all the way to the end of stage 1. Green flag back in the air. We're racing Busch way out in front of Briscoe. Yeah, it's... I don't think Briscoe's got a chance against Kyle Busch. Oh, and we've got a wreck on the backstretch already. That's going to bring a caution out for the 4th time today. A crash on the backstretch involves Justin Haley and Martin Truex Jr. So Briscoe and Busch are going to fight to the line. And I think it's going to be Chase Briscoe again, who will take it to the line for control of the restart. What is going on? So Briscoe's back up to speed. What happened on the back stretch? It was a crash. Looks like... Did go 4 wide again? Oh my goodness. Looks like the 19 had hooked. There was just a lot of contact here in turn 3, and that brought out the caution. Couldn't quite keep it together. Of course, these are bigger cars. Oh wait, was there no caution? No caution. Alright, well, these are bigger cars than the COT series. So it'll be interesting, obviously, to see how much contact goes around. As Kyle Larson is in the lead. He's got Kyle Busch behind. They've got Michael McDowell and Chase Briscoe headed down the bottom. They look like teammates, not quite. They're manufacturer mates as more cars head off of pit road. Yeah. Big wreck fest here today in Canada, in Quebec. Anthony Alfredo comes off of pit road, nearly makes contact with Brad Keselowski. Keselowski's driver, David Reagan, will hold him up as he lets everyone else on the top lane by. Now Ryan Preece, Chase Briscoe's teammate, is going to stay on the bottom. Everyone else is they're going to split him down the middle. McDowell challenging Larson for the lead. Chase Elliott is not fighting for the lead. He is lapped down. Now we've got 2 Fords holding up the other 2 lead contenders. I mean, other 4 lead contenders, actually. Zane Smith and Carson Hocevar were also in it. As they make their way around Corey Heim, Hocevar gets out of Reagan's way, or Reagan gets out of Hocevar's way. Heim gets down to the bottom lane, meaning Hocevar gets held up, but Zane Smith may have to find a way around David Reagan. Larson still way out in front. Alex Bowman cruising at just 130 miles per hour on the front stretch. So we've got really a 4-car group here fighting for the lead. Busch and Briscoe take it down to the inside, but McDowell blocks. Briscoe now way down the bottom is going to go and overtake Kyle Larson. Sorry, there's 2 Kyles here. It's confusing me here. A bit of confusion as they're going to split Alex Bowman down the middle. Rocket right by, no time to waste. Briscoe, Busch, and Elliott down the bottom. They're going to soar way out in front as Larson slows up. Larson is beginning to slow Elliott. I mean, he's still fighting for a lead lap position. If the caution comes out at the right time and he ends up in front of Chase Briscoe, then he can, in fact, take the wave around. And, begin to fight for the lead. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to go down the bottom. His teammate, Kyle Larson, understands the assignment. He's going to stick behind his teammate. That 9 car goes blasts around the 38. That's McDowell's teammate. If a caution were to come out or they finish the stage with Elliott out front, in front of any of the leaders, then he will get a wave around. He will get sent to the back of the field a lap up, a lap further up, and he will be on the lead lap. Larson, though, doesn't have the patience for that. He doesn't want to push his teammate. Interesting move by Kyle Larson. Larson now with McDowell and Briscoe behind him. They've got William Byron. Now Keselowski and Zane Smith. Where did Hocevar go? He's with Bubba Wallace. Briscoe down to overtake McDowell. Busch follows suit. So does Chase Elliott. They leave the 34 out to dry. Busch looks to take it 3 wide for just a moment. Thinks about it. Doesn't quite do it. William Byron may cause some trouble here. for the lead cars. They try to hold the bottom. Byron, though, doesn't quite follow suit. So now, they all head down the inside. Byron moves to the top. The next lap car they've got to pass is Jimmy Johnson. And there goes Kyle Busch down the inside. Does he have the momentum to pass Chase Briscoe? Not quite, but that'll move Chase Elliott to the top lane. Whoa. And, yeah. The field quite stagnant now. Keselowski and Smith struggled to keep up. I think Larson probably has stage 1 in the bag. Stage 2 and 3 will hopefully be a bit more interesting. With all the wrecks here, you would expect at least a bit of one-on-one competition, but you just can't get the momentum. The draft isn't quite strong enough here. Chase Elliott down the inside past Kyle Busch. You just need some patience, but there's 3 to go in the stage. Remember, Alex Bowman takes the top of the racetrack, plays it safe, doesn't want to block his teammate from getting the stage win. Lapped cars fighting for position, however, could spell the end of Kyle Larson's stage win campaign. This could result in Chase Briscoe ending up ahead of the 5. Could form a gap there on the bottom. Briscoe and Larson down to the bottom. Around Jimmy Johnson. And then they're going to get around Truex, which goes a lot smoother. But then they've got Anthony Alfredo on the bottom, who he is going to move up to the top, give them right of way. Oh no, Kyle Busch, trouble with the number 8. He is experiencing mechanical failure, and that will be the end of the number 8's day. With just 2 to go in stage 1, he could have nabbed some good stage points, but he will be heading to the garage. Kyle Busch, sad end to the number 8's day. Could have doubled up on weekends. He won the COT Series last week, could have won the Cup Series this week. Didn't quite get it as Briscoe moves to the lead against Kyle Larson and Michael McDowell. As their next car to overtake is Corey Heim. With just 1 to go in stage 1, though, I don't even think they're going to get up to the 11. Larson and Briscoe side by side into turn 3. Are they going to catch Corey Heim? They might actually. Or at least get close to it. Larson out in front. It's going to be a tough win for the stage. But Kyle Larson is going to win stage 1 in Quebec. And Kyle Larson comes out with the stage win, as Ty Gibbs will take 8th place in the stage. These are your stage 1 standings. As we get under caution here, now with the field bunched up a bit more, it's going to be interesting to see, will the lead cars pit? Will the lapped cars actually get out of the way when they're instructed to? Who knows? Because they're supposed to go to the back. They're not. On that last lap to green, they're supposed to make their way to the back of the field. I think pit road being involved, though, they don't quite do it. So So yeah, everyone heading down pit road with the exception of Anthony Alfredo. AJ Allmendinger quite fast on his pit road entry. Todd Gilliland literally pushing as fast as he can to get to pit road, and still doesn't do it. So with the caution out, Michael McDowell is going to soar off of pit road in front of Kyle Larson. Riley Herbst also going to end up in front of the 5. Keselowski up in it. Bowman with a tough time on pit road. Martin Truex slow off of his pit stall. Chase Elliott going to be in front of Riley Herbst, as they're not going to be sent to the back of the field. I think, yeah, we just don't have enough caution laps. Critical oversight there, but it's fine. Michael McDowell lines up in front. Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott and Martin Truex, or Brad Keselowski, will line up behind lapped cars of Anthony Alfredo and Riley Herbst. Going to be a difficult start to this stage for them. McDowell better be prepared to lead a lot of laps. Right here. As they come off of pit road, pace car hard left. Daniel Hemrick about to make his way back to the back of the field, and Michael McDowell and Kyle Larson are going to take the field back to green as McDowell flies way out in front. Larson and Elliott going to look to quickly find their way around the 62. Of course, Elliott still a lap down, still looking for that wave around, maybe for stage 3. Shake-ups in the back of the field, they're 3 wide. For 2 rows, now for 1, and now for 2 again. Priest ends up out in front, 3 rows of 3 wide. And now they're double file yet again, as his bottom line surges forward ahead of the 62. Lots of lead contenders in that line. Even Jimmy Johnson kind of gaining some speed, but not quite the speed he needs. They're going to head down. Bubba Wallace and Carson Hocevar are going to head down to the bottom. They're 3 wide. Gibbs with a huge shunt down to the bottom of the racetrack. Hocevar gonna look to challenge for the win. He challenged for the win in Joe Gibbs way back in that race. Played out similarly to this one, if I'll be honest. Elliott and Larson, instead of working together, they're fighting each other to make their way back to the 34. Versus, you see Bubba Wallace and Carson Hocevar, they're staying bumper to bumper, try to shoot up to the front of the field. I think Hocevar just doesn't have the speed he needs. Doesn't have the car. Yeah, you'll see 2 big packs right here. But for the lead, it's 2 cars. It's McDowell and Larson. No one else coming close. But it's just stage 2. Anything can happen. Realistically, I think Hocevar and Bubba can catch with the right timing. In the turns, they slow down. 164 miles per hour. They only slow down 185. Okay, I have my doubts, but you never know. AJ Allmendinger with Tyler Reddick behind. Tyler Reddick, though, going to move to the bottom. They're going to go 3 wide here in this middle pack. Reddick soaring with lead car speed. Truex on the bottom with Ty Gibbs and Daniel Hemrick. Yeah, it's really just the lapped cars that get in the way on pit road. This race could have still been good. What for lapped traffic? Why don't they just retire the car? Look how many lapped cars we have. Look how many lapped cars we have. We have 14 cars on the lead lap. Including Chase Elliott, despite... Oh, wait, no. He's on the lead lap now because he's ahead of McDowell. If he just holds it there and a caution comes out, by all means, he's on the lead lap, but he's at the back of the field. So he'll have to get through the whole field in however long if he wants to challenge for the win. Yeah, as these guys just end up further and further away. Truex soaring. Yeah, look at these guys. They're pushing 170 on the straights. No one's catching them. So, yeah. There goes McDowell on the inside of Kyle Larson. Love to see the field rebuild into one big lead car pack. But if not, can we at least have a caution for one of these further back packs? Oh, they've all dispersed. Wow. Well, we have to kind of sit. We kind of have to sit through it. Not much of a choice here. Elliott down the bottom. He's got McDowell behind him. McDowell gonna help out. Bowman in the way though. Allows Larson to just... Yeah, Larson's headed way out in front. This is going to give an opportunity to Carson, Hocevar, and Bubba Wallace to catch McDowell and Elliott, however. So maybe the four of them can work together to catch Kyle Larson. If Kyle Larson gets held up by lapped traffic, then there could be a chance, and it looks like there may be a chance as Cindric and Gilliland are side by side on the back stretch. Larson would have to shoot down the very bottom. I think he's going to get held up for sure. Yeah. There he goes. Into turn 3, and he's held up. Tries to send it around the top, and he goes through the middle. No one holds Kyle Larson up. But they're going to hold the 34 and the 9 up. Less the 34, more the 9. But hey, that's going to give Hocevar and Bubba a chance to drive with a faster car. And potentially make their way back up. They're going to have to regroup with McDowell. Then they're going to have to regroup with Larson. And Hocevar doesn't know how to pass lapped cars, apparently. I don't know what more I expected. Bro, go right. Okay. Well, Hocevar and Bubba are now going to be faster than anyone else on track. Since they're a two-car tandem, they're going to have a bit of boost. Just a couple miles per hour faster. There goes McDowell, though, with the draft off of Alfredo to catch up to Kyle Larson, who's seemingly using the draft from Riley Herbst. But yeah, these two are going to make a late race surge, working together, not passing each other. Oh, now they've got it. Now they've got it. Look at their speed. Hocevar shoots way around Anthony Alfredo. Still slows down, though. Man. If only we knew how to pass lapped traffic. So now it's up to Bubba Wallace to catch, and then Hocevar, and then Elliott, and then McDowell, and then Larson. Man. This really sucks. I'm hoping to see a good race today. The pace car just not moving. See, yesterday the race was great. We saw interesting strategy, surprise stage winners, 3 wide finishes. Today, nothing. Nothing but bland single car snooze fests. There's Bubba back up to Carson Hocevar, but they have to pass Riley Herbst, and we know how these two are when it comes to passing lapped traffic. Please go around the top, Bubba. Please take the top. Never mind. Take the bottom. Take the bottom. But wait, we've got more cars coming up. It's Briscoe, Blaney, Zane Smith, Tyler Reddick, everyone else. The whole field is back. With the exception of Nemechek and Hemrick, but they're going to start flying. So yeah. Look at Larson versus these guys. They're going to start flying. Even McDowell and Elliott have finally regrouped. Maybe it's not all bad. Maybe this could turn into some cinema here. Like, maybe this could be good. So long as they don't spend too much time passing each other. Laney. We just need to make it around lapped cars. Come on, we're double file. We can't just send it around while they're in the middle. Let's focus on them. While we watch the margin between McDowell and Larson. And it looks like McDowell has encountered... Oh, he encountered AJ Allmendinger, that's why. Come on. Send it around both sides. You're stupid. As they send it around both sides... Hocevar and Blaney make it around the cleanest. It's going to take a moment for them to regroup their little 2-wide pack. Larson just not slowing up. No one can hold the 5 up except for maybe this group of 3 right here, but even them, it's a bit difficult. But still, we're going to keep an eye on the margin between Kyle Larson and Michael McDowell, as Michael McDowell is going to fall back into the clutches of this rear field, of this smaller pack. Sooner or later, Michael McDowell will join the 12, the 45, and everyone else. As we look, he's already gaining time on the 5. He's got 12 laps, coming up on 11 laps, to catch Kyle Larson for the stage win. But Harrison Burton in the way. Now, this is what worries me, is the whole field is coming up on this too wide pack of lapped cars and Michael McDowell. But apparently they can't even make their way around Alex Bowman without separating, so... yeah, they're not catching Larson. Somehow Larson, a lone car, is winning a super speedway race with no partners, no field, no nothing. He's alone on the track. It shouldn't be this hard to pass in traffic. Or, I don't know, for lap cars to get out of the way. Larson's getting held up. Finally, Cindric holds Larson up. He's slowed. That gives McDowell a chance. Just a chance, though. There's no guarantee. 34 will gain time this time by. Bro. Move! See, just when I thought they had a chance to catch Larson, I forgot that we don't know how to pass lap cars. I'm gonna slime myself. Larson dominating Ricky Raceway. Larson Hocevar, Zane Smith and Tyler Reddick. Hocevar flies around top, but Gilliland chooses to not stick the middle, instead run the top. And there is a leader going around the top. You see, they move out of the way for Kyle Larson just fine. But then when everyone else comes by, I think here it's because of Chase Elliott. In this situation, it's because of the 9. He's a lap down. But they stay out of the way for the number 5. Oh, golden boy. See, there we go. AJ Allmendinger's got it. Has Anthony Alfredo got it? No. Oh, he's headed down pit road, that's why. So just when we began to see a bit more action, things fell apart yet again. I don't know how Larson's holding so much that, well, he's got the draft of the cars in front of him, the lap cars. With just 7 to go. Stage 2. Ooh, Larson stuck behind Ross Chastain and Ryan Preece. Who Preece is going to stay on the outside of the number 5. That is interesting. Ryan Blaney up in the mix. That's going to be huge. That's going to be huge for the 34 and the 12. Everyone else who once had a chance to catch Kyle Larson is now just... oh. And there are lap cars all over this track. Just foolishness. See you, McDowell. Can you get around lap cars? Go around the top, please. Thank you. Still slowing down like a moron. And you're trying to go 4 wide. That's going to be caution. That's going to be a caution. That's going to be a caution. That's going to... Please. No! Oh my god. No. Why didn't they wreck? How did they not wreck? The one time I want a yellow flag. I don't want to fake them anymore. Well, I guess we're just going to have to wait it out the old-fashioned way. For the end of stage 1, it's not like there's any action to miss. I mean, they're kind of close to the 5, but how close can they really get? The next lap car is Anthony Alfredo, because he just came off of pit road. So there's McDowell. They're starting to draft off the 5. They're finally beginning to catch up. At the end of the stage, Larson could have the stage win threatened. It is a possibility. What seemed impossible is now becoming reality. Okay. You know what else is impossible? Passing lapped cars. Okay, Larson doesn't... Jimmy Johnson doesn't seem to like Kyle Larson, so... Honestly, that's probably... So, Elliott... heads around, and he is now back with his teammate. Maybe to get the wave around, who knows? Look at this. Elliott and Larson. Alright, now 1-2. Well, 1-14. But, or 1-13, but 1-2 nonetheless. And, Elliott, with just 2 to go in stage 1, looks to find the wave around. Doesn't quite have the confidence to pass AJ Allmendinger, who AJ will move out of the way for the 34 and the 12. And the next lap of cars are only in turn 4, so I don't know if they can use that to their advantage this time by, but there's no lap cars in between them at least, so I guess we will have 4 cars in that lead pack again. As we come to just 1 to go in stage number 2. Elliott wants the wave around. And Chase Elliott holding strong to the number 5. This could be actually close for the wave around here. Elliott in the bottom. And yeah, coming off of 4, it's going to be Larson for the win, but Chase Elliott is going to get the wave around as Kyle Larson wins stage 2. Unbelievable. And so Chase Elliott is going to speed his way around the pace car and is finally going to get what he's been searching for, that illustrious wave around. Chase Elliott is now in the lead lap. Carson Hocevar is also there. He's in 4th place. They've got Tyler Reddick behind, then Chase Briscoe. So inside, 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 inside. So that's going to mean outside, 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 outside. So we will actually be able to maybe see them get around the lap cars. You know, I think the guys that are going to get stuck, the guy that's going to get stuck is definitely Tyler Reddick. But he's headed down pit road. With Kyle Larson, mind you. Kyle Larson down pit road, Truex, all these lap guys staying out except for Zane Smith. Zane Smith is on the lead lap. Every other leader, oh, there's Brad Keselowski. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna wait until we get past pit road, because this is rather annoying. So inside, inside, inside. So that means outside. Outside. Truex is a fast car, though. Outside, outside. So maybe they could use Truex as a bit of a boost up, as some of those lapped guys will go to the back. It's just the ones on pit road that will lose out on this opportunity. So if you're Kyle Larson, you've lost out on the opportunity to return to the lead, pretty much. You've completely given that up by pitting. Which means it's going to be a 5-, 6-way, 7-way fight. 8-way fight. Okay. See, this is good. We have 8 lead lap cars, all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's McDowell, Blaney, Hocevar, Smith, Keselowski, Hemrick, Gibbs, and Dillon. And then is Nemechek on the lead lap? No, but the top 8 are on the lead lap. They're all on the lead lap. Right? No, is Hemrick back down? Oh no, what is going on? There's trouble as cars make their way down pit road behind the pace car. All the guys that stay out, they're headed down pit road, which means Chase Briscoe, Tyler Reddick, Kyle Larson. They're going to be the leaders, and that's Ross Chastain into Riley Herbst for some reason. And green flag back out. Stage 3 underway. Let's get this race finished. Not sure what all that was about. Reddick and Larson in the fight. Briscoe also in it. It's the first time since stage 2 you could see an actual fight for the lead. That would be if Kyle Larson wouldn't just scoot away for some reason. Yeah, Reddick just can't get up to speed. Maybe Briscoe can. Briscoe might. Oh, and Larson's headed down pit road. That gives Briscoe the lead. And in third place, it's none other than Chase Elliott, who has found his way. Lady Luck has dealt a good hand to the number 9. He has made an entire lap up and is now going to fight for the lead, as he is absolutely soaring. 168 miles per hour, 170. Chase Elliott flies past Tyler. Almost. Reddick throws an aggressive block. That's Kyle Larson, only now making his way off of pit road. Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott on the bottom of Tyler Reddick makes his way past. It's going to be between Chase Briscoe and Chase Elliott. The battle of the chases. Now, my question is, these two are not going to be happy with each other, or will they? See, Chase Elliott gave Chase Briscoe the win in the Diet Coke 500 by holding up Tyler Reddick. So it'll be interesting to see how these two behave around each other. Are they going to favor each other? Is Chase Briscoe going to return the favor to the 9? Or is he going to say, yeah, but that was kind of an accident, so it doesn't really count. Give me the win. You know? It's entirely possible Chase Briscoe is the only car up with Chase Elliott that is up to speed with the number 9. Everyone else has fallen behind what could have been an 8-way battle for the lead, ended up on it road. As Elliott and Briscoe are side by side. Oh boy. First lapped car they'll have to go around is Alex Bowman, a mere 142 miles per hour for the 48. Who's going to get around? It's going to be Chase Elliott, the 48's teammate. It's going to be both of them, actually, as they rocket around both sides of the 48, but Briscoe's going to get the edge. Here's Chase Elliott on the inside of Chase Briscoe. As we approach 20 to go. Currently it's 27 to go. Excuse me. It's just 2 cars, but 2 cars is all we need. As these two trade positions. Tyler Reddick making good work, but doesn't quite have the speed of the 14 or the 9. We're gonna need to see a yellow flag if we want any hope of there being a competitive finish with anyone else involved other than these two right here. The duel of the chases. They run side by side. AJ Allmendinger in turn 1. They're going to agree to go 3 wide. Side by side. Send AJ Allmendinger down the middle. Split the pole. Or the car in this case. And Chase Elliott, with the outside momentum, is going to go down the inside of Chase Briscoe. There's Briscoe's teammate, Noah Gragson. There we go. Yeah, Briscoe and Elliott fighting hard. Those were 24 to go. Right? No, 25 to go. 24, 25? 24. Sorry. Lost my mind for a moment. 24 to go. Will Gragson and Priest, both Briscoe's teammates, allow him by, or are they going to give Chase Elliott the edge? They're going to give Briscoe the room. Elliott's still sticking close behind, though. But yeah, they made the right choice there, in my opinion. I'm giving it to Briscoe over Elliott. Man, I'm tired. And it is lap 6-7. Excuse me. It is lap 67 out of 89. Got 23 to go. Elliott with a huge run into turn 3. Coming up on the most formidable lapped cars of the entire day. These two have ruined more battles than anyone else in the field. Neither of them really find their way around. Briscoe around top. Briscoe around the top. Reddick almost through the middle, but doesn't quite get it. This could be the start of Briscoe domination, as Elliott and Reddick head down the bottom. Next lap cars are all the way in turn 4. The next contenders are all seconds back. And as Chase Elliott continues to catch the 14, we saw some of this yesterday. We're getting a warning of a potential forecasted snowfall. So we're going to be watching the forecast for the next couple of laps. We may have to throw a red flag. Of course, a lot of these drivers are hoping for said snow to come. It'll be a huge benefactor to a lot of these guys, especially these 4 back here. They've had race winning pace all day. Yeah. As Chase Briscoe and Chase Elliott now continue to fight for the lead. If Elliott wins, it would be a great story from being a lap down at the first lap of the race to winning the race. Going from mechanical failure to race winner. No wins yet this season for Chase Elliott. If it were this one, it would be a great one. And as Briscoe and Elliott and it looks like, okay, Briscoe up in front. Caution for weather. The snow is apparently too daunting. I'm gonna bring it around one more time. Pace car has its lights on pit road. Just waiting to come out. Waiting for Briscoe and Elliott to bring it back around. And the caution is out. They're going to stop on the back straightaway. It's going to be a red flag. They're going to stop the leaders on the back stretch, along with anyone else. Saw 2 calls for this yesterday, 2 red flags. We're seeing another one today. So they're gonna stop us on the back stretch. At the end of the back straightaway, the red flag is out. The red flag is out. as we're hearing that conditions are clearing up and the snow is moving away. We can continue. The yellow flag is back out. We're no longer red. Elliott and Briscoe with Reddick behind them. These are the only real lead contenders, and Reddick's kind of slowed up. The next car is Bubba Wallace, and then Brad Keselowski, then Zane Smith, Ryan Blaney, Carson Hocevar, and Michael McDowell, and then Kyle Larson. The lap cars are having a bit of a identity crisis here, as Todd Gilliland and Justin Haley are the only ones going down pit road. We could actually see something good here, finally. And yeah, as we cross the line, and into turn one, the lapped cars will end up at the back of the field. There we go. Everyone's passing. All the lapped traffic is going away. Even if not everyone gets past, at least a few more cars in the lead fight will be more than enough. Hocevar, that's Larson. There goes Austin Dillon. Ty Gibbs. These guys seem to be waiting for Noah Gragson. But look at this! We actually have a decent field of leaders. Hopefully that doesn't get broken up. Looks like it might, but whatever. Finally. We've got at least a slightly consistent field here as the lapped cars try their best to line up where they are. Couldn't get everything fully aligned, but it doesn't honestly doesn't even matter anymore. It's Chase Elliott and Chase Briscoe with actual lead lap cars behind them. Bring us back to the green flag. No snow. Let's go. Just 16 to go in the race as Chase Elliott is going to end up out in front. Reddick, as we mentioned before, is a bit slowed up. But with Keselowski behind him, I think he can still make work on the 9. But if you're Keselowski, you probably want to get past the slower car ahead of you as he heads down the bottom, and they're going to look 3 wide. Keselowski now takes it 3 wide with Ryan Blaney, McDowell, Larson, and yeah, those 3 behind him. Brad Keselowski could win this race. Yes, I said it. Yeah, the 2311 cars are a bit slow and sluggish. It's really everyone else that this depends on. Keselowski's got the speed, so does Blaney and everyone else. Here we go. Finally going to begin to see some action. Larson on the bottom of McDowell and Blaney. They're 3 wide almost. Larson could sweep the race. We've seen 3 race sweeps already this season. Trevor Bayne had a race, or Carl Edwards had a race sweep in Darlington. J.J. Yaley had a race sweep in Atlanta, and so did, what's his name, Alex Bowman. And they're 2 wide now, finally. More action on track. And Keselowski on the outside. He's got Chase Elliott behind him. Larson with McDowell. Keselowski can't quite defend. Not clear the 5. Keselowski going to try to still hold on. They've just got the longer line of cars in the bottom. Excuse me. McDowell now controlling the drafts along with Kyle Larson ahead of him. Back to McDowell versus Larson. We saw this earlier. It was just the two of them. Now they've got the entire field behind them. Keselowski takes them 3 wide behind Hocevar with Ryan Blaney behind him. Hocevar would love to have a race win. Oh no! Ryan Blaney with engine trouble. He's got a mechanical problem. Briscoe and Zane Smith are virtually taken out of it. Ryan Blaney experiences a mechanical failure on track, and they make contact as Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick make contact with the 12. And if he can't get back to pit road, I think we're going to see a caution. We will see. As Larson still holds the lead. By far the most dominant driver all day. A race sweep would be nice. A comeback story would be nice. AJ Allmendinger on the back stretch. They're all going to head down the bottom of the 16 to get by. As they just soar past. Ryan Blaney makes his way onto pit road. A-OK, that's Austin Cindric, Ryan Blaney's teammate. And Ryan Blaney has retired. So, Bubba Wallace has retired. Ryan Blaney has retired. I wonder if maybe Tyler Reddick will also retire. No, he's going to stay out on track even with that minor setback. Yeah, Briscoe and Smith taken out of it. But there's Keselowski and McDowell on the bottom. But no one really has the speed to match the 5. It's just Larson, no matter what, is the man. Keselowski now separate from the rest of the field behind him. Got speed on the 5, is catching up. Can he bring it? Larson with a strong defense. Keselowski can't really get by, but who can? It's Michael McDowell. Or can he? He sticks behind. Now though, as they approach Austin Cindric, Keselowski's old ride, Larson struggling to find his way by. Keselowski down the inside. They're 3 wide. Michael McDowell. What is Cindric doing? That's going to be a penalty for the number 2 for sure. Interrupting all 3 lanes. Interrupting all 3 lanes of lead lap traffic is ridiculous. Now it's teammates Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott, but also Brad Keselowski in the mix. Keselowski gonna head down to the bottom, chase up Chase Elliott. Gonna catch him up. And for the lead, he's gonna go down the inside. got just a few laps to go here. And Keselowski, he's got a good shot to win right now if he goes down the inside of Alex Bowman. And he does. He's got Kyle Larson behind him. Now, Keselowski on his own with just Chase Elliott behind him as Larson struggles to get by the 62. Larson falls back to third, maybe even fourth as Michael McDowell comes back up into the field. They've got Hocevar behind as well. Don't count the 77 out, but Keselowski leads. Keselowski throwing some dangerously aggressive blocks. Larson down the bottom. Kyle Larson still gonna try to fight for the lead. He's got McDowell behind. They're too wide. They're side by side. 6 laps to go in Canada, in Quebec. McDowell is alone on the bottom. Brad Keselowski wants this win bad. And here we go, onto the front stretch. Now with more lap traffic to get through. Keselowski going to hold behind Kyle Larson for now. And they're all going to get around Corey Heim. Chase Elliott follows suit. And they go down to the bottom. As they're already back up to speed. They're going to pass Noah Gragson. Here, and the next guy to pass is AJ Allmendinger, but... Man, Keselowski. Got McDowell behind. Maybe you can use McDowell for help. But McDowell leaves the 6 out to dry. Brad Keselowski. Michael McDowell betrays Brad Keselowski. Hopefully, for the 34, he's going to hope for that to succeed. The 6 goes all the way around to the top to pass AJ Allmendinger. And get a monster run on the back stretch. Into turn 3, we've got 4 to go. Coming up on 3 to go. Here we go. 3 laps to go in Quebec. Kyle Larson's got it all but made. Elliott pushes McDowell wide. 2 Chevys, 2 Fords. Brad Keselowski just can't find his way by anyone. He's going to slip back in. Behind the 34. Kyle Larson has put together a great race today, won both stages. Led arguably the most laps today. Chase Elliott not going to make the pass. McDowell on the inside. Gonna have Keselowski with him. These 4 fighting for the lead. Larson is the fastest car on track by far. He's got the best equipment under him. Tyler Reddick comes off of pit road. All it could take, though, is a 1-lap car in the shape of Austin Cindric. Or maybe a botched strategy call. There is Keselowski. One lap to go. White flag is flying. Larson with the draft of the 2. And he does not let him hold him up. Keselowski, however, does. Larson off of turn 4. We see the white flag. Chase Elliott, Michael McDowell, no one could challenge the 5 today. Kyle Larson is going to come to the win in the Canada 500. Wow. An unbelievable race for Kyle Larson. And the entire 5 team as a whole overcame many obstacles in search for his first win of the season. Finally, after race 16 or something like that, he finally makes his way to victory lane. Good job, Kyle Larson, the entire 5 crew. Kyle Larson wins. Thank you for tuning into HAZCAR. Tune in next week for Nashville. See you then. Until then, adios.